Hi, I'm Noelle Hyman from paperclipping.com, and we're in the Idea-ology booth
Idea-ology, yes.
with Tim Holtz.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
It's a great morning, CHA 2013. It is. It's great.
It is great.
It is.
We're going to look at your new Idea-ology products, and we're going to look at some really cool projects that people have made with them.
That's the coolest thing. You know, with new products, it's great to have a variety of designers, and you give them the product, and you're like, I can't wait to see what you're going to make for the show. And just the talent out there, it's amazing.
They blow your mind.
It does blow my mind. It does.
Okay, we're going to blow your mind.
All right.
Cool stuff, right?
Cool stuff. So Idea-ology, there's a ton of stuff. That's the great thing about this line. It's just a collection of so many eclectic things, all sorts of different findings and fasteners and papers and everything. And that's really what this line was all about for me. It wasn't about to stick to a specific theme. It was really about, here's just a variety of stuff that you can use in your creations, whether you're a scrapbooker, a card maker, or mixed media, or jewelry, whatever your style is. I think it's something about that kind of vintage themed items that make you look and go, oh, wow, I can use that, or I remember that. So yeah, there's some cool stuff. So some of the projects, like one of the newest things, configurations, all of those cool shadow boxes that I did. Well, we released a configurations book. So this one, let me just kind of lay this clock out of the way. This is actually a book, right? This one's made by Paula Cheney. So it starts out just basic. It's completely bare, so she covered it with paper, added a knob on there. Now inside has all of these little inserts that you can reconfigure. So she chose these inserts and she made all sorts of different shadow boxes. In here is one of the new buckles where she just added a strap of grunge and made a mini book. Here she used the new cabinet cards. So these cabinet cards are printed chipboard that's actually a window opening. She slid down a postcard in here. These will hold a 4x6 photo. So those old photos that you have all the great graphics on the back? So that's what she did to make kind of this little flip book here. Here we have one of the new hinges, and inside here she just did kind of a little hidden shadow box in there with the little ring pull, the corked vials, all of the really fun elements in here. So, for example, in here, she used just a variety of elements just to tell her story, whether it was the numerals or the tickets or the fasteners, and then of course I did some new rubs. So they're called Remnant Rubs, and they're rub-ons, but they're completely matte finish.
Oh.
So it will allow you, whether you're going to use words or numbers or anything like that, to adhere them to everything, because rub-ons stick to everything. But what's cool about this is that you can use them, and because it's such a collage sheet, it really allows you to create a nice remnant style. So for example here, this is one of the new Assemblage Clocks. This is a metal alarm clock, glass, so it's got the bells in there, but inside is completely hollow. So the back comes off and it allows you to collage right inside. So here I did one just for a wedding, and over the photo is actually all the rubs. So instead of worrying about printing on a photo or trying to stamp on a photo, you can use the rubs for that.
Well, are those individual letters or are those separate words?
They're separate words. Oh yeah, there's a whole ton of words. In fact, they're swing around, they're right there on the wall. Just these right here are the remnant rubs. So what they are is you get 2 sheets of each one. So you'll get 2 of the same sheet here of the images, 2 of the same sheets in the words, so you can see it's like be true and in my heart, all of that, and 2 sheets of the numbers. And the reason I called them this is because, sure, you could go in like some of the artists did and actually cut out the words and use those. Or if you just want to do a collage, you lay down the sheet, you rub it in an area and just rip it off and you get the remnants.
Yeah, it looks really good the way it's laid out.
Yeah, it's really packed in there. So you can, just kind of use it more as a random collage element, or you can still go in and cut it apart.
Okay, I have a couple questions about these projects that you just showed, and there's more to see too.
I love it. Yeah, okay.
Is that the foil, and then did she just stress over it?
Yes, this is the foil, and then she just used alcohol ink over that.
Alcohol ink.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what gave it this old metal look.
Right, and then she did the same foil and actually did kind of like pinking shears to give it that other texture. So you just take that metal foil tape from Ranger and just cut it and alter it.
And is this grunge paper?
Yes,
Or grunge? Yes.
grunge paper, so
That's
it's flexible.
amazing.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
I mean, just stitching the edge of it. It's like, that's ridiculous.
And then your clock, you were able to
Yes.
get some of those words,
Yeah.
the rub-ons in there.
Right.
And that's a lit-up lantern?
It's a lantern. This is the lantern we released at the summer show, and it's a battery-powered little lantern in there. These are the new tags in there that have epoxy, so I just use rub-ons in there just to put the date and say big day. There's so many things, I know, it's so amazing. And just a level of creativity, like this book, this one is made, I love this journal. So this is really a fantastic journal. This one is from Sandy Krieger, and this is the new worn cover. And what it is, it's basically just a hardback book cover. It's wrapped in fabric, so it's already printed to look distressed. Inside, it's covered in craft, but it has 2 holes. So here she just took the ring binder. You can use the brads, or here I love how she just used the paper string to actually tie it right on there.
Yeah.
And then she just made mini book, just all sorts of different pages, so you can create your own journal with all sorts of different photos and all sorts of different elements in there.
How fun.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
That's what I love about this. It's really about kind of giving the tools. I mean, that's another worn cover, but a whole different perspective of it. So here, see those little shadow boxes?
Yes.
Those are leftovers from a configuration.
I love that it's a combination of like a little miniature book or journal and
a little shadow box inside. It's very cool. I just think that's what's fun. So, you know, we talked about just using these tools in a variety of ways. So the papers that we did for this show, I did a line of French industrial, which is kind of a very shabby, vintage kind of French kind of look. But I like it because it really has a wonderful color palette to it. So you don't have that dark grunge. You really have a little splash of color and elements, and you can tie all those pieces together, whether you're working with photos or you want to use some of the typography or you want to just use some of the backgrounds.
So it's time for Izzy and me to go to France.
Yes, I think so.
Let's
see a trip in your future, Izzy.
Let's look at the clock here and some of the other clocks.
Oh yeah, we'll take you through all of these because this was really a fun one. You know, when we did the assemblage clock and it's a blank clock, it's like, what are you going to do with it, right? So on that one, that's another one from Paula Cheney. She actually used the metal foil tape, ran it through the Sizzix embossing folder to create all those little rivet textures, wrapped the clock, and then in hers she just did a whole thing about, you know, free and flight. So she did butterflies and glitter.
So
it's
pretty.
Very pretty.
Yes.
Say,
I didn't
so
realize
pretty.
there's a Sizzix embossing folder that does the little rivets for the foil.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in the alterations line. It's really
Awesome.
cool.
All right.
So here's another clock. So this one is done by Shelley Hickok. So a whole different look, right?
Yeah.
So this one's really grungy, paint, embossing powder. There's that little lantern again. But this one, she used a lot of stamped imagery on there. So she stamped it, she cut it out, she layered it on transparencies. That's a fun one to pick up with a camera, isn't it, Izzy?
Yeah, I'm hoping you can get all the little
I
texture
love
that's in there.
Reflection is my friend.
Reflection? What?
Reflections of all the glass and everything on there. Yeah, here's another cool project. So this one is done. This is from the Gentleman Crafter, right? So you talk about creative ideas. These are all configuration inserts. So when he did his configuration, you have all those little boxes. He didn't even want the big box that it was in. He's like, I'm going to use all the little boxes. So he wrapped them like little suitcases and strapped them with grunge and created the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
Does he hand cut these or is there a cut for that?
No, the
somehow?
paper he just hand cut.
did it
Yeah,
himself.
yeah. I mean, look, he even cut up the top of little safety pins and and the bottom is the configuration box, and that's the book that he has inside.
So it's the Ivy Tower out of vintage suitcases.
It's crazy.
That's so cool. Look
It's
at the
so cool.
top.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Love that little handle too.
I know. It's fun.
That's great. Okay, what else are we looking at here?
Well, let's show you some other stuff. So this one, I want to stop real quick because I did talk about Idea-ology being a variety of stuff, right? Whether you're a scrapbooker, card maker, or even a jewelry artist. So this one these are from Connie Fong. So here she took some of the elements. This is brand new for Idea-ology. This is called a Locket Book. And what this has a little lever that's just going to flip down. And when you open it up, it actually reveals this little fold-out.
Is that
book.
fold-out already in there?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not attached. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
so that's going to allow you to put your photos in and then glue that last sheet in there if you choose.
So it comes with it.
It comes
and then
with
you can
it.
attach
Yep.
it.
And then
Okay.
you fold that down and it's embossed, and then it has that little thing that flips up and it's embossed on both sides. And here she used a hinge in a totally different way. She used, keyholes. These are the facets, but here she did foil tape and actually soldered around those acrylic pieces.
So cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so rewarding to me as someone that just designs random things. Really, to see people like take those and go, look what I can make with it. It's fascinating.
All right, so you've got these burlap things, but before that, I want to see the clock.
Oh,
one more clock.
She loves the clocks.
I know.
Okay, so this is also from the Gentleman Crafter. So look what he did on this one. So Jim actually went in. This is covered with grunge. So this is grunge paper that he just did Brad's, gave it a very cool kind of faux finish, but on the back, he's got a little memo pin that pulls out. That's going to allow you to open the back of this. Now what he did is he actually put a clock mechanism in it. So he made a functioning clock out of the empty clock. But in the back is where this mini book is stored. So this mini book is all just about time and photographs and pockets, but that would fit in the back of the clock. Isn't that clever?
Yeah.
So
very
cool. Here's
All right.
new hardware we did. This is a new ruler binding. So this is actually
Oh.
2 wooden rulers that are cut. You get these wing nuts, you get the bolts, and you get the washers. And all you do is you can take all of your tags, stack them together, punch your holes, and it will bind together just with little
Cool.
cuts of ruler. Pretty fun.
Yeah. All
So
right.
burlap panels, aren't they cool?
Yes.
So burlap, what's great about this is, I love the look and texture and feel of burlap, but this is actually on a wood panel. So the center of these burlap panels are not hollow. So in other words, they're not going to cave in on you.
Okay.
So this is going to allow you to actually adhere things to it. You can screw things into it. You can hammer onto it, and you can create a great collage with it. And they come in 2 different sizes. So they're going to come in a 6x8, or you can get 2 4x6 panels in a pack. It's a really good surface to work on.
Nice. So they're not going to collapse with all the heavy items that you want to layer.
Even something like this. So here's the burlap, and I'll flip it around just so you can see that's the back of it.
Okay.
Right, so it's going to be that solid. So here you can screw right into it, like this one. This is from Stephanie Ackerman, where she just made a great calendar
All right.
just out of those. So really fun. Again, you know, you see the versatility. There's another worn cover. There's just so many things that I don't know. I'm blown away every show. I am. I love
really
it.
cool.
I love it. It's probably the most rewarding thing.
Well, thank you for showing us all
Absolutely,
of these.
absolutely.
Awesome. This is Tim Holtz with the
Ideology.
line.
Yeah.
I'm Noelle Hyman with paperclipping.com.
See ya.